You will get a notification, Cait, to unmute. Let me know when you're unmuted, my dear.
I should be unmuted.
Okay. Hi. And everybody can hear her, right? It should sound, she's just on speaker on my phone, so we should all be able to hear her from here. How are you tonight, my dear?
I am good. Thank you.
Thank you for being on here and being a part of it. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to set our little timer here. But before I set the timer, I like to, hello, everybody here on TikTok. Before I set the timer, I would love to know the first name of your loved one who is no longer here in the physical world.
His name's Joseph.
Okay, you said Joseph?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, cool. I don't know if you can see the timer on your screen. Can you?
Yes, I can,
Okay,
actually.
cool. Okay, cool. So here we go. Okay. Joseph tells me, I feel like he's got darker hair, passed suddenly, unexpectedly before his time, and I would say tragically. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, give me a second here. Okay, so one thing he tells me is he tells me it was more of like a situational thing. He tells me it's something that he may have done many times before, and it just kind of didn't go that way or happened in the middle of a routine thing, or it's something where, he's going about his business, going about his day, and it seems like something just, the situation just kind of catapults out of control. He takes partial responsibility for this, though, but he takes partial responsibility for the part that kind of like spirals it out of control. Like, what goes across my brain is like lack of being able to correct the situation, if you will. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, that does, actually.
Okay, because okay. And then I want to get as much out of him as I can before I turn it over to you here. He goes, honestly, most people found out through word of mouth. He gives me a sign symbol for like maybe we got a call in the way we didn't want to get a call, and he tells me that you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and it was kind of like an intuitive feeling that something was going to happen. Like you just have this deep rooted feeling, and then you end up having to go through that loss. And then he makes me feel like, I was like, how long have you been connected to her? He goes, well, pretty much as long as it matters, as long as I can remember. Who is this to you?
That is my son's father. My two sons' father.
How did he end up passing? Because he tells me that it was very like suddenly, unexpectedly, it just catapulted in a catastrophic direction very quickly.
Yeah, we were going through like a really bad breakup, actually, and he was like trying to take my kids, and he ended up doing substances, like, and he had done it before, like whatever, and it was always okay, but that night he actually ended up falling asleep in a weird position, and it cut off his breathing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Yeah, and I actually had a dream I had a dream he passed, and then that night, and then I woke up to a text from his mom that he passed away.
And that was the phone he was talking about, and then the fact that you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and you had like maybe even a premonition that it was gonna go that way. Wow. So one thing, can you hear me just fine?
Yeah, I think it broke out for some reason, but I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. And on the replay, it'll be completely uninterrupted and hopefully repeated as well. So Now, and then you said that you had dreams of him, and then all of a sudden you woke up, and then you got text messages that told you he passed away. And then he's telling me that even since then, you've had a couple of dreams of him since he ended up passing. He says he visits every once in a while. So dreams are kind of a reoccurring thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's no even denying that you're an intuitive, and you can definitely read deeply here. Okay, so he wants you to know that he takes responsibility for the situation getting out of hand, and he says that you never have to prove yourself, that you're not the monster that he pretended that you were, that allowed him to live in the reality that he was living in. He goes, you just weren't that person, and it was all about, and the fight was just between us. It almost had nothing to do with the kids. You have the kids now?
Oh yeah. Right when he had passed, everything like stopped. That all ended, and that's crazy. He says that.
Yeah. He just wants to be genuine because he put you in such a state of fear, and when that's not deserved, that doesn't rack up completely well with his karma points. You know what I'm saying? So he tells me the situation went out of control, and he takes responsibility for that. And I asked him if this was something he had struggled with, and he said, yeah, far before your relationship started, he also struggled with substances way back then. So this was just an addict's way to fight, and it's like punching themselves out of a paper bag, you know?
Yeah.
So he 100% takes responsibility for that. And then I also feel, not to like go off into a whole nother realm here, but I also feel, while we have a couple minutes left on the clock, is that you have this female over there on the other side. She tells me she passed of something underlying medical, could be a cancer, but she had a hard time getting around toward the end. Does that make sense?
Could be my grandma, I think, or my aunt.
I'll describe her even more. Shorter hair, glasses, little older, was at home for the most part, but I think needed to be taken care of right at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's my grandma then.
And then that person also brings, and then I don't know if grandma, like if she made it to a really old age, but she like sits in the same rocking chair she's had, and it's like not like a rocking chair, but like a recliner that rocks, and she's had the same spot for a very long time. She brings through a male over there that she took care of in the physical world. Does that make sense?
Is it like, is he older? Or?
Yep, he's older, passes of something medical, has a hard time walking around. I think that if it wasn't for her, he may have not made it as long as he did. Almost seems like a husband energy, or she could even be taking care of her father figure on the other side. Does that make sense?
My grandpa died when he was 66 from prostate cancer, and that sounds like that's who she'd be referring to.
Yep, and remember how I was like, yep, that it might even be a cancer that he ended up passing from? Well, both of those people are on the other side, and they're absolutely okay, at peace, and this Joseph, he's primary. How many kids do you and Joseph have? 2 or 1?
We had 2 boys, and then my daughter was his stepdaughter.
Okay, the timer's going to go off in a second, but just ignore that for a second because we got to talk to the babies. I wanted to see what the timer would say. Cool, it'll just go in negative direction. He says that the grandma's got both of the boys, but then he's got the one that's like definitely on the rowdier.
What happened?
Oh, hold on. Okay, I feel like
I don't know what happened.
Do you hear me now?
Oh, okay.
Okay, perfect. I just turned the timer mutes us apparently. So now we know. He said that the female has both of the boys as primary guardian angels, but then he's got the one that's a little more rebel without a cause. He's going to make sure that one stays safe for you and doesn't, go jump himself off a couch or anything. He'll make sure that one's safe for you, Mama. Don't worry about it. All right, my dear. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Boom.